Hi, I'm Tom Zoltner. I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on repairing a Casco lighter. Casco lighters come in two versions, a model 200 and a model 160. Basically the same similar lighters, but they have a different base. Both have Bakelite bases, and they come in many colors.
Hey Dad, what's Bakelite?
Bakelite is a phenolic plastic that came out in the 20s and 30s, and they come in many colors. Green, there's oranges, reds, black, and brown. And these are 5 different colored model 160. They usually have a black base versus the model number 200, which has a chrome base. And these are round, whereas the 160 is fluted, or 200 rather, is fluted. But basically, that's very similar lighters. These are the basic parts to the element on a Casco lighter. They all share similar design features, and it's called a number 77 element, which is just a push-in element with 3 pins that stand proud of the base of the housing. Now, if you care to note, my website is tjzusa.com. That's where I have instructions for repairing Eagle type lighters as well as Myco type lighters. And you're probably familiar with Myco lighters, which are one of the more common electric lighters. Just for interest's sake, this is a original carton from a model 200, which is I've never seen one, but finally got one on eBay, which is an interesting addition to my collection that shows you how they were retailed. And this is a model 200, and it talks a bit about the what it is and how it works. When you get a Casco lighter, usually the cord is bad, and one of the most difficult things to fix on the lighter is replacing the cord. You have to remove the bottom label, and you'll see a plain metal disc, which is rather plain, and you have to take a rod of some sort to push out the holder that's inside here. That is, sometimes it's brass, sometimes it's phenolic or Bakelite like this one is, and they sometimes break and you lose the lighter. However, if you're careful, you can slowly push it out and it comes out, and you can replace the broken wire with a fresh wire. But that's so difficult, I don't want to talk about that. That's beyond many people's expertise. What I want to talk about is how to replace the nichrome element that's inside the lighter head. And when you buy a kit from my eBay store, it's called a Casco kit, and it comes in an envelope like this, and inside you have a new mica disc and a nichrome wire. Plus it has instructions on how to repair your lighter, which I'm going to go through right now and give you an idea of the complexity. It's not difficult, you just have to remember a few small tricks. One of them is these 3 pins. There's 3 different sizes. There's a short one in the center, a medium one, and a long one. The short one is in the center and it has a washer. Then the long one is just to the other side of that, which has a washer also. But the medium one, which is around the Made in USA stamping, doesn't have a washer, and they come off quite easily. And those are the two washers. In fact, there's two washers and two insulating washers, which has to be taken out. But and if you see here, there's a raised border that tells you where to put these two washers, the two insulating washers and the two regular washers. It's very difficult to lose sight of that. Then once you have that apart, it comes out. Now this disc here is made of asbestos, so be careful of that. Don't inhale any of the dust, etc. And now once you have these parts opened up, now we can open up the retaining bezel and remove the old nichrome wire and put a new one in. It has 3 tabs that have to be spread open, which you just push open with a screwdriver usually.
On this last one, just hold it up to the camera before you undo it, and then show it after.
Yeah, these are the 3 crimping tabs that are on the bezel. You just spread them open and that's good. This one's okay. And now you just have to pull the bezel off. Which is rather snug on this one. Oh, I see. There. Easy for me to say to just remove the bezel, but it comes off. There it comes, okay.
It's a broken one?
That's a broken one.
So that's fine. You can talk about it being irreparable.
Okay.
So why is that one broken?
This one happened to have a broken ceramic portion, which is not replaceable, unfortunately. However, it can be repaired with cyanoacrylate. But you can see what happened here. Somehow moisture got into this and rusted this screw that expanded and caused it to break or crack apart. And even this screw here, you can see, is rusty and created a problem. So somehow water got into the front of this, rusted the screws, and destroyed the porcelain support for the nichrome wire, which was obviously burned out. And I'm going to try to fix this and get back to you when it's repaired. And anyway, when you open take off this bezel, you'll find nichrome wire that's burned out. You'll also notice your mica disc is corrupted with holes or missing things. So let's disassemble this and replace the nichrome wire. Now the medium pin is, the medium length pin is right by the Made in USA stamping, and it's the smallest diameter of the 3 pins. The center one is the smallest. It has a metal washer and a fiber washer, which insulates it from shorting out on this base plate. These are the 2 metal washers and the 2 fiber washers and the 3 pins. Remove the asbestos, whatever that thing does, and remove the bad nichrome wire from each of the screws. The screw with the largest head is the center screw, and just makes it easier putting together. You can stretch this out to about 5 inches, and that usually fills the serpentine track. I generally start with the larger headed screw, which is the center screw, and wrap a few turns around nichrome wire so it makes a good contact. The other screw with the smaller head, wrap that a few times, and run the nichrome wire around the serpentine track, and hopefully you'll get to the middle and you've stretched it out to the perfect length, which I kind of did.
If you stretched it too far, you can put it back on the rod.
You can, yeah, if you stretch it too far, you can put it back on the plastic pin, and look at that. Now, that's the way it should look, and it's just about perfect. Then place your new mica disc over it to keep it in place, and hopefully put the bezel back on. It retains everything, and there, now it's all, and you can see that wire is laying properly. Then you could re-crimp the bezel to keep it secure.
You do the bezel before the asbestos?
Yeah, you can do yeah, because everything else is held in place now. So then you put the asbestos, oh, I forgot one thing, darn it.
The screws?
One screw. It's the oddball screw that doesn't do anything. Now, if you notice, I didn't say simply do this and simply do that, because there's nothing simple with this project. Everything is not a nightmare, but everything is fussy. So now the small screw, or the small diameter screw, is back in place. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, everything seems to be in place. Now you can crimp the bezel onto the ceramic. In 3 places. Now you can put the asbestos insulating washer, whatever it is, in place. The smallest of these screws is on the Made in USA side, and is the medium length brass pin. Screw that on. Then you put on the insulating washer in the center, the other insulating washer on the remaining screw. Oh, oop. The metal washers go on top of the insulating washer, or the fiber washer. And you can tighten the three brass rods, and you're ready to give it a plug in and see how it works.
Show the working one first, or we can.
We've already showed that, so let's try this. Ooh. It's on. Oh, there it is. Okay. And it works properly. That's it. Now, I repair these things. You could see that it was not the easiest thing to do. It requires a little bit of manual dexterity, and I've done it many times and usually am successful doing these things. And you can go to my website and contact me, and I usually repair these things for about $30. It includes the nichrome wire and a new disc, and all you have to do is pay for the shipping back to yourself, and you get your lighter repaired. Doing the wiring of these things is a whole other chore, which is really complicated. It's probably another $30 to put a new wire using your Bakelite plug like these, but then you'll have a complete working lighter for about $60. You can turn something that doesn't function into a fully functional lighter, and I guarantee everything will work for at least a month or two. No, it'll last a long time. But of course, if you use these for lighting cigars and cigarettes, they will tend to tobacco gets stuck in these things, and that's what helps burn out the nichrome wire prematurely. But it's the way they were, and the way they were designed and made.
When you replace the cord, do you use a period?
I do use rayon covered period correct wire that's matches what was used originally, which is a relatively fine, small diameter wire, about 22 gauge, I think, and it looks right, feels right, and that's it.
Could you see these old lighters like this that have a nichrome element be used in the marijuana community?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, that's it. You can turn it off. I think it's all done. You can probably get enough good stuff out of that.
What's your YouTube channel name? Isn't it TJZ USA?
Yeah, TJZ USA.
Or is it American Tobacciana Associates?
No, American Antique Associates. That's what I sell
okay.
under eBay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.